Now, I've made a video already about the importance of setting goals. They help you keep moving forward. They give you the motivation to continue on progressing, and that's very important. If you need to know all that, then check the video out. But this one is going to be more about the nitty-gritty about setting goals. Now, there's usually 3 types of goals that people set. There's the easily achievable goal that people set. There's the challenging but possible goal. Then there's the impossible to achieve goal. Now, people set these 3 goals for 3 different reasons. Usually they set an easy goal because they don't really want to try. They have an excuse not to do anything. It's like, it doesn't matter if I actually achieve it or not, because it won't make a difference in my life anyway. So therefore, I can just stay where I'm at, and that's fine. Now, there is a place for setting easy goals, and I'll talk about that in a minute. The challenging but possible goals, that's where you want to be. You want to be challenged enough to have to push yourself forward a bit, but still, not so impossible that you can, or not so hard that you're not going to get there. And then the impossible to achieve goals, well, those goals are set because people want to feel good about themselves, and they're being the big man by setting up the big goal, but really it's an excuse to fail. They don't ever intend on, or once they start, they don't intend on continuing on that goal process, because they know it's impossible. It's like me saying I'm going to be a multimillionaire next week. Well, it's not going to happen. I might as well just quit now, right? So there. So when you're going to set a goal, what goals do you want to set? You want to set challenging but achievable goals, right? So when you set a goal, first thing you have to do, there's another 3 things. There's 3 things you have to do when you set a goal. First thing is you need to stop and figure out where you are. Because if you don't know where you are, you can't get where you want to go. I've talked about that before. So stop, figure out where you are, set in whatever area you are in your goal setting. If it's financial, know what your financial statement looks like. If it's physical, then know how fit you are. If you want to go to a physician or something and get a physical, then you find out what state you're in and what you need to do to improve. All right, so start where you are, figure out where you are. Second thing is to consider where you want to be in a reasonable period of time. People talk about setting 5, 3, 1, and 6-month goals, right? You got a 5-year goal, a 3-year goal, and a 1-year goal, and a 6-month goal. Too long. Sorry, it's too long. And too much can happen in a year for you to be able to achieve that goal. Even 6 months out, it's too long. Stop thinking that. Okay. What I do is I set goals for 12 weeks. 12-week goals, essentially a little bit under 3 months. It's great. You can set a goal for 3 months, and you can say, I'm most likely going to be able to achieve that because not as much is going to change in your life in 3 months. Sir, sometimes something changes that big that will throw you off kilter. That's fine. But then you're not 5 years behind, right? You're just, 3 months or 8 weeks or 4 weeks or whatever behind. You get back on the track, you can keep on going. So a limited period of time. Don't set goals so far in advance that you don't have a reason to actually do it. That's another reason why people set yearly goals and 3-year goals, because at the beginning that doesn't matter if they do it or not, because they still have a whole year to do it until the year's up, and then they haven't done anything, and then they set another year goal and don't do anything. Don't be like that. Set 12-week goals, which is achievable, and set those goals that are possible in 12 weeks. And the third thing is you need to break the goals down into daily and weekly habits. Now, if you want to set a goal and just hit it once, fine. Just, go out and do it. Fine, no problem. But usually when you set a goal, you're setting a goal because you want to have achieved something and stay there, right? You want to be financially independent forever. You want to have a savings account that has enough money to cover 2 or 3 months of your rent or mortgage or whatever it is forever, right? You don't want to get there and then, oh, I've done it, and then fall back. You want to be able to get there and stay there. So the only way you can get there and stay there is by developing daily habits that keep you there. And so you become the person who is financially independent rather than somebody who was once financially independent or is financially independent for a couple months or year or whatever. Stop thinking like, I'm going to achieve the goal and then I can relax. It's not the way it works. Set a goal that you have small little habits, daily habits that you do to get you to your goal. And then consider what one-time changes you can make. One-time changes are sort of a lean manufacturing idea. The idea is to make it simpler and easier, reduce waste and all these great things. It's wonderful. In your life, you can apply this too, right? So if you say you want to improve your oral health, right? That's a good goal to have, is, keep your teeth as long as you can. Well, if you want to keep your teeth as long as you can, it must mean you need to brush them. And if you're going to brush them every single day, you might as well brush them with a toothpaste that you like. So if you're brushing with a toothpaste you don't like, find one you do. That's a one-time change that you can make so that you don't abhor the idea of brushing your teeth. If you don't like the taste of the floss you're using, find another floss that you do like. The other changes you can make is you can make it so that you can easily reach your toothbrush. Put it on the counter or in the cupboard where it's easily gotten to, or where you go to all the time. These type of things are one-time changes that you can make that will increase the ability to make these habits happen. And so do those things. So, recap. Figure out where you are. Stop, figure out where you are. Get your position. Second, determine where you want to go. Just have a limited period of time in which you can achieve that goal. And then 3, break it down into small daily habits that will get you there. And then look at your 12 weeks and decide which little one-time changes you can make. Make 3 or 4 one-time changes that makes it easier for you to do the habits, and there you'll be away.